So this is video number 4, and I wanted to continue the conversation about fitness. I'm gonna talk a lot about that just because I care about it a lot, and I think that it is again, very relatable to a lot of people. But I wanted to add some other things that I think have to do or kind of all have to do with one another, at least for me, and that is gender and fashion in connection with fitness. So for me, over the past, I would say, year or so, I've really come to realize how much fitness matters to me, how much it plays a role. Did I say fitness or fashion? I don't know, I meant fashion. But how much fashion plays a role into how I just feel confident in myself about gender, first and foremost, and I'll get into a little bit more to that in a second. But also how I show up at the gym. I have seen a few people that I follow that are like gym influencers or like fitness coaches and things like that talk about the importance of really liking how you look and liking what you put on when you go into the gym. I really I would always hear that, but I think I just kind of didn't think much of it. I would always just wear, obviously, like fitness things. But once I started to kind of find my niche, or however you say it, of clothing that I like, and started filtering that into the gym, I really noticed a difference in how I saw myself, how I interacted with, this is gonna sound kind of like corny, but how I interacted with the machines, how I like interacted with just the weights, and how kind of like locked in, I guess. I know everybody says that now, but like locked in I felt when I would, start my workout, and it really did make a difference. And oddly enough, when I look back on, pause right here, I'm gonna kind of go a little bit more into about me. I don't really want to make this channel kind of like an identity thing about everything about me. I feel like that'll just come with time. I'll kind of sprinkle things in here and there if it has anything to do with what I'm talking about, just because I just don't want that to be the main focus, and would rather, again, this be, again, like a virtual notepad for everybody to add in what they feel about these topics, and not so much, hey, here's everything about my life, what do you think about it? Like, I don't really think that that's, I'm not saying nobody would care about that, but I just don't really want to do that. But a little background about me. So I identify as non-binary and have come to that realization over the past, I would say, couple years, to be like more exact about up to date, and it being more of a real thought, and like sitting with myself about it and actually doing something with the thought, and actually like analyzing the thought. But before all of that, I guess growing up in my teenage years, early 20s and things like that, I really always felt like I didn't really connect with the binary, honestly, and how the world presents what gender is and what it should look like, and how how people should present themselves. I just never connected to that in terms of how the world presents it. And for me, clothing was a big part of how I struggled with a lot of just identity, gender identity, insecurities, fitness, and just my confidence, really. Like, I think I know that played a huge role into how I saw myself, because there was always, it felt like, I'm being tugged from all these different directions on how to look, how to dress, how to present myself, how to walk, how to do all these different things. And over time, that gets so noisy that it's hard to really kind of focus on what you want and what you need for your body, whatever that may be. Whether that's, physically putting on certain clothes that make you feel calm and cool and good, or, feeling confident enough to continue to I don't know, go to the gym and actually be disciplined enough to make a plan and things like that. You're kind of focused on the wrong things, or things that don't really matter in terms of other people's opinions, or how you should present yourself, and all of that you don't really have the time to really focus on you. And I dealt with that for many years, up until the last couple years, maybe 3, that I really took it upon myself to like focus on what I liked, focus on what I wanted, focused on what made me feel good inside when I would go in different settings, whatever that may be. Specifically here, we're talking about the gym, fitness, obviously. And I quickly found that for me, looking good and wearing what I want to wear made me more confident as I walked out the door, no matter where I was going. And that's obviously a never-ending thing that doesn't just stop overnight because I found clothes that I like. Obviously, it's way more to it than that. Obviously, clothes are great, but there's more on the like mental side that you have to figure out about yourself and why you do things that you do, why you react to things the way you react to. And the clothes were just kind of a stepping stone into me finding out more about myself. And being a child who was obviously born biologically female, and having the background of very religious, very, you know, just not really too much conversations, or at really any conversations about gender. And if there were conversations, they weren't really nuanced. There weren't really any like conversations that invited like questions or, you know, just nuanced conversation. It was always very black and white. This is what a girl does. This is what a boy does. This is what we think a girl should do. This is what we think a boy should do. This is, and it's like when you grow up in that kind of rhetoric, it can be really hard to find any sort of voice about what you want and what you like, because you're kind of, again, looking around like, this is what I'm being told. And when you feel like you don't really have a choice, you just kind of go with it, because you don't want to ruffle feathers. You don't want to make a big deal out of something. You don't want to seem like the weird person that's doing something different or whatever. And I'm sure other people can relate to that in other ways. It doesn't have to be just with gender or clothing or anything like that. But growing up, sometimes it can be easy, you know, to kind of fall victim to a lot of rhetoric that can be harmful for you if you obviously don't know that. And you won't, a lot of times I feel like, I can only speak for me, those things didn't come to the front until later in my life, when I was old enough to kind of understand, like, oh, there's choices that can be made. There's things that I have a say in, which sounds crazy when you think about it as an adult, but when you didn't really feel like you had that ability to make choices for yourself, no matter how small they are. It doesn't have to be huge choices. It can be, again, as simple as what kind of shirt you put on this morning, what kind of friends you have, what kind of friends you bring around, what people you date, you know, what food you eat, where, I don't even know, what kind of books you read, whatever it may be, that you kind of like finally like look up one day and you're 20 something, like, wait, I can actually choose this stuff now. And it feels very weird. So tying that all back to fitness and how that has really, really helped me to kind of gauge like what I need for myself. Really, black owned businesses, and really honestly any local kind of businesses. This doesn't have to be just black owned, but I really love to support black owned businesses. Oh yeah, I wanted to make sure, I want to try to like add things that I wear just as like a, I don't know, plug or something. I'm not getting paid for any of this, but I really, really have brands that I absolutely love, that I love going to the gym in. And this is the Let's Get Active brand that I talked about, and I think in my 2 videos ago. Short for, or long for, LGA. That's the brand name. Go check them out on Instagram. It's a really, really good brand, good quality. But anyway, I really realized how much fitness and fashion like really come together for me personally. Like, I feel like it's truly a way to express yourself. It's a way to feel confident, like I've already said. It's a way to kind of connect with other people as well. I didn't really realize how much of a, I don't know if this is, maybe I just was out of the loop in it, but I feel like over the past 3 to 5 years, I've noticed that there are a lot of people in this world. Obviously, I found this out through social media. There's a lot of people in this world who really value fashion in the way that I do, in connection to fitness, but just fashion generally. And it's been really, really fun and really cool to see how many people like me, how many people my age, but age doesn't matter, but how many people like me, that are trying to just figure themselves out in life, who are trying to, you know, stay healthy and want to put something out into the world that makes them feel and look good, and want that for other people. When I mention this, I mean like clothing brands, specifically fitness clothing brands. And I have found a lot of people who really, like, there's a whole community of people who really care about it, obviously. And that's been really fun to discover and kind of come upon as I, you know, when I'm on Instagram and things like that. I really try to keep my algorithm focused on things that I care about, and to see that there's all these other people who care about the same thing is just really encouraging, and really really encouraging, really. And I just said really like 5 times. I really like to say it again. I like to find people who I can relate to about this stuff in particular. But I think that tying all that back into gender, and how that looks. I know that not everybody can relate to being non-binary, but I do feel like we all can relate to wanting to feel good and wanting to wear things that make us feel our best selves. However you identify, whatever you like to wear, whatever that looks like for you. Whether that's, I don't even know, like wearing tank tops. That's something that I want to do at some point, is be able to wear tank tops and wear them confidently, just because I want my arms to be like, you know, fitted. What is fitted? Just like I want my arms to look fit and stuff like that. So it's like, you know, for me, that really just plays a part, and I could imagine that being the case for other people as well. So feel free to engage and put how fashion has impacted you in your fitness journey, what that looks like for you. How does fashion encourage you? What have you learned about what your style is and what you know want to wear when you're in the gym? Are you more of a flashy person? Are you more of somebody who likes to stick with just like the pure I don't know, like Adidas, Nike, any brand name, like major brand name? Do you like to find like clothing lines and things like that? And yeah, I will say another, I didn't know if I was going to include this, but another part of fashion that I feel I've really grown very interested in, and I have done myself over the past year, is tattoos as well. That's another thing that I didn't really know until I thought about it. I had always thought like, oh man, it would be cool to have like a sleeve. Here's one of my tattoos on my arm. You can't really see it. Hold on. Yeah, here we go. I have more up here, but anyway, that's another aspect that I didn't really know until I got them, until I started to like find patterns and things that I like caught my eye, that also play a role into how I walk into the gym and how I see myself when it comes to fitness. Like, I really think that our bodies are, obviously not think, our bodies are ours. That's how you say it. And I feel like tattoos are just, yet again, another form of expression. And I have found a lot of confidence and a lot of finding out about what I care about and what I am interested in, I guess, even through tattoos. Like, I didn't realize until I started looking up designs that I really love nature. I really love just patterns and symmetrical patterns and things like that. And to be able to add that to my body in a way that is customized and picked out by me, it just kind of ties back into, again, growing up, not really feeling like I had choices, not really feeling like that I had a say in what I wanted to do and how I wanted to present myself, and what I wanted to focus on in life. And yeah, I feel like all these things tied together really just has taught me how important it is to pay attention to what you like, pay attention to what makes you feel good. What are the things that are going to make you continue to do something that you know you should be doing, and do it regularly and in a way that like is sustainable, right? And for this particular video regarding fitness, I have found that fashion, any sort of self-expression, really, like I said, the tattoos, fashion, I really love hats. You'll probably see a lot of those. Just any form of self-expression really encourages me to get up and continue to do what I can for my body, because that's just another form of self-expression. It's just lifting weights, being physically fit, having your body look whatever way you want it to look. That's still some form of expression through how your body looks. And obviously there are internal things that also have a lot of self-expression, which we'll get into that maybe another video in terms of more of the mental side of things. But the external, I just think there's so many things that people can do to make themselves feel like, feel good. And I want to continue to talk about that, continue to promote finding what that looks like for yourself. So please feel free to add what that looks like for you. What are some things that you want to add to your life in this next year or a few months or whatever it may be, that you have determined make you feel good and you want to do more of. And yeah, share that. I really would like to hear what you all have to say. But this, I guess, formally concludes the video. I don't really know how to end these. I'm still working on that. But hopefully this video finds you well. Feel free to subscribe if you would like. If you want to add a comment, say something that you want to say, whatever that is, feel free, and I will be back for video 5 here soon. Also, feel free to add any topic ideas that you have that you think might be good to talk about, and I will talk about them. So thanks, and I will see you soon.